it's Johara. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to talk about Shadowhunters, the TV show, because I've never actually read the books, and I may or may not. I don't know. A part of me wants to just because of Malec, but at the same time, I don't know if it'll be the same. Just because I don't know. I've heard some controversial feelings about it. I feel like at least a lot of people I've spoken to on Twitter seems to like the show more, and but yeah. I don't know. I might read it just for Malec because I need more Malec because they're just the sweetest and cutest and yeah. But anyways, Shadowhunters was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. Malec was my favorite part. If I have not stressed that enough, Malec, I'm obsessed with, and I'm planning on rewatching it again, just for Malec and for Susie, but mostly for Malec. So my favorite character was Alec, no doubt. I absolutely love him. He is my favorite character. I just love his journey and his character growth and his storyline. I mean, at the beginning he was so unhappy and so he focused on his work and he focused on pleasing everybody else around him and never himself, and it was so sad to watch, but I just love seeing him struggle with that so much after he met Magnus, because it's like here he meets this guy who sees him past Jace, who sees Alec and cares about Alec, and that's so new to him, and then but he's also struggling with what he thinks is right, what his parents want, what the Clave wants, and never thinking what he wants. He always pushes his happiness away for others, and it's so sad. And the only person that even cares about Alec's happiness for the longest time is Izzy. And I love their relationship, by the way. Such an amazing relationship. I just love it. And Izzy loves her brother so much and wants him to be happy, because she noticed that she's the only one that even knows he's gay, and she wants him to be happy because she sees him and she sees how amazing he is and sees how he pushes his happiness away, and just she wants her brother to be happy, and I feel like it's so sweet. And I love the scene with Alec I think it's episode 4. Magnus just keeps flirting with Alec, and he just looks confused the entire time, and I love it. And but I love it when he says, my favorite one must be when he says "pretty boy," and then Alec and Jace both assume he means Jace because everyone does. Everyone looks at Jace and ignores Alec. It's like he's invisible. Even his own parents see Jace and not him, and it's so sad. But Magnus was like, "Not you. I'm talking to you." And then Alex smiles for a minute and then looks at Jace and is like, but I just love that scene so much because it's like someone finally saw how amazing Alec is, and I love Alec, and he deserves the best, and he's such a sweetheart, and I love him. But yeah, but Malec's definitely my favorite part. I also love Simon. He's so funny and so sweet, and he's such a good guy, and I feel like people see past him as well. Except Izzy, she never did. She saw how amazing he is, and I love that, and I love Sizzy as well. They're my second favorite. They're just so cute, and I love their slow burn friends to lovers thing they had going on for 3 seasons, and I love how the scene when Simon had to compel his mom to think Simon was dead was so sad, but at least he had Izzy, because like he was so alone in that moment, but he had Izzy, and it was sweet and sad. I also love the scene when Simon was trying to get rid of the Mark of Cain, and Izzy went with him, obviously, and she and then he needed a lot of blood, and so she wanted him to drink her blood, and he was willing to die so that she wouldn't what's the wording? I can't think of the wording now. Well, she had an addiction to vampire blood. It's basically the Shadow World's version of drugs. So she he rather died before letting her fall back to her addiction, and she rather fall back to addiction than let him die. She eventually got him to drink, but it was just so sweet, and she cared about him so much. I was so afraid of losing him, and I ship it. But Malec's still the best part. I'm not a huge fan of Clay. Not a huge fan of either Clary or Jace, honestly. But I don't watch for them. I watch for Malec and Sissy and Malec and Malec and Malec and more Malec. But their journey was just so beautiful. And my favorite scene of all time will always be the wedding scene. Not Malec's wedding, but the wedding where they had their first kiss. I love it. I can watch that scene on end. Seriously, I just love it because you can see the struggle Alex going through. He's like, Magnus comes in and he's like, oh my gosh, here's the man I pushed away so much, who came here anyways, and I love him, and he doesn't love him yet, but he's like, I care about him so much and I want to be with him, but then again, if I do, it's like he was afraid of losing everything. But in that moment, he realized that he couldn't keep fighting his feelings. He couldn't keep pretending to be someone he wasn't. He couldn't keep pushing away his own happiness for the people around him. So he left and he walked over and he kissed Magnus, and it was amazing. They have so many amazing scenes. I love the scene when they first say I love you. That was sweet. Because the sword was activated and a bunch of downloaders were killed, and he was so afraid that Magnus was one of them. So he legit searched for him all night. Just throwing that out there. But he finally found him, and they hugged, and then Alec was like, I love you, and Magnus was like, I love you too, because they were so terrified of losing the other. It was so sweet. There's too many moments. These moments before Magnus went to what's it called? Edom, both times. Like the first time when he went to go talk to his dad, and the second time when he went there to stop to close the rift. That scene especially, that's probably my second favorite Malec scene of all time. And because Magnus had broken up with Alec, or Alec had broken up with Magnus because he made a deal with Magnus's father to give Magnus's powers back because he felt incomplete without them. And Alec broke up with him so he'd feel complete, and it was sweet. And sad, honestly. But and then Magnus found out and went after Alec at Edom, and at whatever that place was called. And then he suggested to go to Edom. Alec was like, no, but Magnus was like, I have to. And Alec was also going to propose, so Magnus made the rings appear, and they proposed to each other, and it was so sweet. And then Magnus left, and then Alec just fell to his knees. That scene always gets me because it's so sad. You can see the despair in him when he falls to his knees, just so afraid he will never see the love of his life again. It was just so sad. And then the Malec wedding was perfect, obviously. We waited forever for that. But they just have too many scenes. Like, I seriously cannot say all the amazing scenes they have. They're just too perfect. The Sissy first kiss scene was awesome. I love that. And I loved the scene when after that everyone was back from Edom and everything. I also love the scene when Malec reunited Edom, and Alec said that when this was all over, he planned on staying there with Magnus because he could never be without him again. They both get out of Edom though, because Edom was being destroyed. But yeah. But it was sweet, and like seriously, I watched that entire show for Malec, no joke, and Alec because he's awesome, and a little bit of Sissy because they're cute and awesome too. But Malec is the best. But their journey and was so beautiful, and and like every scene with them I love, and I'm obsessed with them. They're just the cutest. but I just and Magnus is a great character too, and I just I just can't even function. Okay, my words aren't even making sense because I can't explain how much I loved Malec. I do wish we got to see a little bit more of Sizzy though, because I feel like for a while there we we didn't even really get any scenes from them, and we got a lot of scenes from them at the beginning of the show, because Izzy was flirting with Simon and Simon was being a dork, and it was cute. And then in season 3 we ended up getting a lot of scenes from them, but in season 2 I feel like we didn't get that many, sadly. But I was glad for what we got in season 3. Season 3 was definitely my favorite part of Sizzy. But I loved or no, I don't know what I'm saying. My brain hurts. I do wish we got more of Sizzy after they started dating. They didn't get together until like the very end. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a slow burn, and I love a good slow burn. But I do wish we got to see a little bit more of them dating. Like maybe have them get together a little bit earlier in season 3. Had more scenes with them in season 2, so it can be more of a slow burn without getting together at the very end. And because I would like to see a little bit more of them dating. We didn't get to see that much of it, sadly. But yeah, I love Simon and Izzy. She's an amazing character, and Alec is still my favorite though. Izzy's probably second, and then Simon and Magnus are kind of tied. I love them both for different reasons. I think those are the only 4 characters I really care about. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's other characters I like, but those are the only 4 characters I actually love. And the only 2 ships I really love. But yeah, I also love the evolution of Maurice. Maurice, that was her name, right? Alec's mother. She went from hating Magnus and hating Alec and Magnus together to literally be the one to help get them back together after Alec broke up with Magnus, and help make Magnus figure out that Alec made that deal. And like she told Magnus she loves him. She told Magnus that thank you for loving my boy, and she told him he was part of the family, and it's just a great evolution. Like seriously, second best evolution past Alec, because no one can beat Alec's evolution. Let's be real. But yeah, I could go on and on from Alec forever. There's so many episodes I love. And so many fights. I like the fights at the end of season 2. I like when Alec was like, I got this, and like, when they were all in like the road or whatever fighting those creatures. I like these fight scene that Alec, Izzy, and Magnus had. I like the I like the ending of the fight in season 3 where they had to fight, where they went to Edom and fought, and the fight before that when they were at that one place. I can't remember what it's called now. I love how Simon went there to help even though he could die, and Izzy got a bunch of shards in her back and was bleeding to protect Simon. That was sweet. I love their conversation about Superman, and then Izzy's little comment, maybe Louis just needed a little more time to see what was right in front of her. It was like innuendo about their relationship. Cute. I also love when they got back together in season 2, because they broke up twice. First time Magnus broke up with him, and then the second time Alec broke up with him. And I love when Alec was like, I can't live without you, and then they kissed. It was sweet. There's just, I could never, like, I could literally be here for an hour talking about Malec, like, seriously. But yeah, there's so many episodes I love, so many scenes, so many fights. it was a good show. I still watch it for Malec, but that's besides the point. But anyways, that's all for this video. Please like and subscribe and comment if you've seen Shadowhunters, if you like it, if you prefer the books, if you think I should give the books a try. And if you're as obsessed with Malec as I am, and Sissy, because yeah. And I'll talk to you guys later.